Hello students. Today we'll be learning about the construction of a plane scale. In the previous class we had studied about scales, what are scales, and the different types of scales. We also studied about how scales are represented on maps. You will remember that on any map you're going to find three ways in which a scale is represented. One is RF, the second is the verbal or the statement scale, and the third one is the graphic scale. Graphic scale or the linear scale holds an advantage over the other two that when maps are enlarged or reduced, it still holds true. As the name suggests, graphic, it means that it is constructed or drawn. In today's times of computer assisted cartography, drawing a graphic scale has become very easy. You just need to decide which RF you're going to be using, and the computer automatically draws the graphic scale for you. But one must learn how to construct a graphic scale as well. So today we'll be learning how to construct a plane scale. Now the graphic scale is of three types: plane scale, comparative scale, and diagonal scale. In today's class, we will be dealing with only the plane scale. Now let us look at the stationery which is required. You need an A4 size paper or punch paper, whatever is available, a ruler, preferably with 10 divisions on the inside. You will also require a pencil, an eraser and sharpener, a protactor, a compass, and set squares. All these things will be required in the construction of a plane scale. Let us begin. The question is, for an RF 1 is to 50,000, draw a plane scale to read in kilometers and meters. So the formula for the RF is map distance upon ground distance. Based on this, we can say that 1 centimeter on the map represents 50,000 centimeters on the ground. So when we change it into meters, we will have to write 1 centimeter represents 50,000 divided by 1,000 meters. Why? Because 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So when we are changing from centimeter to meters, we will divide the number by 100. Based on this, the answer will be 1 centimeter is representing 500 meters. As we have read in the question, we have been asked to prepare the scale to read both in kilometer and meter. We have got it in meters, now we need to find out the kilometers. So we can say that 1 centimeter is representing 0.5 kilometer. Why? Because 1000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer, and we can see that over here 1 centimeter is representing 500 meters. Thus, 1 centimeter is representing 0.5 kilometer or half a kilometer. If 1 centimeter is representing half a kilometer, 2 centimeters will represent 1 kilometer. But if we draw a scale of just 2 centimeters, it will be a very small scale. Whenever we are constructing a graphic scale, we must keep in mind that the length of the scale should at least be between 4 to 6 inches. So 2 centimeters is a very small figure, so we are taking 14 centimeters. Now 14 centimeters means roughly the length of your 6-inch ruler. We know that approximately 15 centimeters are there in 6 inches. So for 14 centimeters, the number of kilometers which it will represent will be 7, because 2 centimeters is representing 1 kilometer. Therefore 14 centimeters will represent 7 kilometers. That means you will have to draw a line measuring 14 centimeters for your graphic scale. As you begin with the construction, there are a few things which you must keep in mind. Number one, whenever you're constructing a graphic scale, as I've told you earlier, the length of the scale is very important. It shouldn't be too small and it shouldn't be too large. Too large or too small is with reference to the size of the paper which you're using. So it means that the scale which you are constructing shouldn't be so small that it looks minuscule on the paper, nor should it be so large that it becomes difficult for you to draw it. Alright, one more thing which you must bear in mind is that the ground area which you are representing through the scale is either taken to be in multiples of 10, 5, 2, or even 1 if the other three are not possible. So over here, we are representing 7 kilometers. Now, in order for us to represent 7 kilometers, we will have to draw a line measuring 14 centimeters. Now, let us begin with the construction of a plane scale. For that, please pick up your pencils and rulers, and we'll begin with the construction. Okay, so I'm just writing plane scale over here. Alright, please draw out a line measuring 14 centimeters. I will just use a thick line so that it becomes visible to you all. Please draw a line measuring 14 centimeters on your sheets. After drawing this line, you are required to draw two acute angles, one on either end of the line. Okay, I hope you remember what are acute angles. Yes, they are angles which measure less than 90 degrees. Make sure that both the angles are equal. Alright, so I have drawn two acute angles at the end of the line, one on either side. Now we have to divide this line into 7 equal parts. Why? Because this 14 centimeter line is representing 7 kilometers. So we want to show a distance of 1 kilometer on each primary subdivision. In order to divide this line into 7 equal parts, what will we do? You're going to pick up your compass and you're going to take any distance on that. And you have to make 7 arcs on these lines which you have drawn. Alright. So let's say, okay, 1. Then you're going to move your compass to this point and cut another arc of the same length. 2. Then you're going to move it over here. Again cut. 3. Again move your compass. 4. 5. 6. And 7. Now without changing this distance, we are going to do the same thing at this end. So you're going to put your compass over here and cut an arc. 1. Then again going to move your compass to this point and cut an arc. For repeating the same procedure till we reach 7 parts. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now I have drawn these sections or portions arbitrarily, but I believe that you will be drawing it using your correct measurements. The next point, the next part is the joining of these lines. How do we join? We take this end and connect it to this line over here. Then you're going to take this end and connect it to this end over here. And then one by one we'll be connecting all the others. Alright, corresponding points are going to be connected using straight lines. You can pick your rulers and keep connecting them. When you will finish connecting all these lines, you're going to see that the measurements of the 7 parts on your main line are going to be equal. Yes, mine are nearly equal and yours will be equal. Alright, so we finished dividing the line into 7 equal parts. So now what do? You are going to be drawing 2 vertical lines. One over here and the other one where the first primary division ends. Yes, so we know that these main divisions which we have just got are known as primary divisions. Alright, so what are we going to be doing? We are going to be dividing the first primary division into secondary divisions. The procedure for constructing the secondary divisions is nearly the same as the primary ones. So we will be cutting arcs over here like we did for the primary ones. Now we know that each primary division on this line which you have drawn, it represents a distance of 1 kilometer on the ground. So 1 kilometer on the ground means 1000 meters. Yes, and in the question it is given that you have to draw a scale, a plane scale, which can show distances both in kilometers and meters. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters, and since how many subdivisions there should be, it has not been specified to you, so that is entirely up to you how many secondary subdivisions you construct. Since this length represents 1000 meters, so I think we'll be constructing 5 secondary subdivisions measuring 200 meters each. All right, so you can pick up your compass and put them over here on this point and cut an arc taking any distance. Okay, any distance. It should be such that 5 arcs are going to fit on this line. Okay, so I've drawn the first one. Then put your compass over here and using the same distance draw another one. Follow the same procedure. You have the third one. Then you have the fourth one and the fifth one. Now put your compass over here on this point and cut an arc using the same distance. First arc, second arc, third arc, fourth arc, and fifth arc. Alright, now we have to join them. So how do we go about joining? We take this point over here and connect it to this point, and take this point and connect it to this point. Then as we did, we just have to join the corresponding points. So the second is joined to the second, the third with the third arc, the fourth one is joined to the fourth point over here, the fifth one is joined to the fifth point that you have over here. So now you have divided the primary division into 5 equal secondary divisions. Okay, so now you're going to be completing this drawing. So what needs to be done is you have to make another line of 14 centimeters right below the first one, and you have to turn it into the shape of a bar. So all right, I've joined them and we have the bar ready. Now you will be dropping perpendiculars. I'm changing the color so that it becomes visible. You will be dropping perpendiculars from the line on which you have made these divisions to the line which you have just drawn. So you have the first perpendicular, the second one, third one, fourth, fifth, sixth is already there for you, it has been drawn. Then we make the secondary perpendiculars for the secondary divisions. Okay, and make sure that these perpendiculars are absolutely straight lines. Okay, so you have the perpendiculars drawn. After drawing the perpendiculars, the next step is to color this scale. For coloring the scale, the procedure or the pattern which we follow is that we color the first primary and then alternate it after that. Alright, so I'm going to be picking a color. You will be using black only, but I'm picking another color so that you are able to clearly see it. Alright, so this is our first primary division and we will color this. We leave the next one blank and then we color this. Then we leave the next one blank and color this, and the last one will be left blank. Now for the secondary divisions, we follow the same pattern. Since we have colored this primary, we leave the secondary next to the primary. Then we color this one, leaving the next one, color this one, and leave the next one. Alright, so you have the primary and the secondary divisions colored now. Now we are going to be labeling this scale. It's important to mention the units. Alright, so this side we had the kilometer scale. Let me increase the font size a little bit. Alright, over here you had the kilometer scale, and this side was the meter scale. Now let us label them correctly. Now this point over here will be 0 because our primary divisions are beginning from here. Alright, if this is 0, then this one is 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, and 5 kilometers. The last one is 6 kilometers. Now coming to the meters portion. Let me just decrease the font size a little bit. Alright, we know that each subdivision over here is equal to 200 meters because there are 5 subdivisions. 200 multiplied by 5 will be 1000 meters. Alright, so we write 200 over here. I think I'll pick another color. 200. Is this color visible? I doubt. We need a darker color. Alright, I'll pick up brown. 200. Then this division over here is 400, 600, 800, and 1000. Alright, so you have labeled the scale correctly. Now you must mention the RF on the sheet as well. So we are going to be writing the RF. What was the RF? The RF was 1 is to 50,000. Alright. When you are drawing it, please make sure that you draw margins on all 4 sides. The title plane scale should be in the center. Alright. And with this, you will be completing your scale. I hope all of you have understood.